Everybody, good morning. I'm Alvin. Actually, I'm now as a VC investing in startup things. But before that, I have been working in the largest digital marketing agency in Hong Kong called Pacific Link Group. Basically, we have 300 people, 300 professional digital marketing people that help different brands to on their marketing initiative, especially on web and on app. We develop any kind of website, apps, and also help our clients to formulate the marketing strategies, especially on digital space. For the big data things, we have been working like I think since year 2000, 2003, something like that. We start to urge our people, our clients, to adopt data management. So in a short view now, after I sold the company to Accenture, I'm now working as a VC, and I'm more focusing on the retail technology and data management and sort of AI things. And if you would like to have more about angel investing, we could talk later. Thank you very much.
Anybody needing any money? later.
You have many money.
So hello everyone, I'm Paul. I'm the data leader in Deloitte Consulting, and I also run the Asia Pacific Blockchain Lab. Our goal is not to disrupt the market, so we try to apply emerging technologies in financial institutions, bank, insurance, and all that. Before that, I was CEO for FinTech, I've been CIO for banks, and also for other consulting firms.
Hello, my name is Wilson Wong. I'm from Hkpc. I guess most of you know Hkpc, that's why you joined the event today. In short, we are supporting industry in Hong Kong to improve the productivity, in particular for the SME. I joined Hkpc for about 3.5 years. My responsibility here is IT related, so I guess you may heard about my sharing about the cybersecurity before. So before that, I was in SAP and Microsoft Hong Kong.
Very good, thank you. So you really have an impressive group of people. So let's get going. I'm gonna get something easy to get off the ground. First question, big data is about economics and business benefit, and really not about technology. Do you agree, disagree, care to comment on it? Oh, you have to comment.
First, I would like to say it is a kind of compliment. Yeah. And why big data recently is so hot? I think it's because of technology. In the past, we don't have the cloud service. When we need to do the data analysis, it needs to buy a lot of server. And as a CFO, I always say, it's a kind of huge investment, capital investment in this perspective. But nowadays, because of the cloud servicing is getting more and more affordable. That's why I think nowadays when we have a data, when it's more easy for us to get in the past, we only can analyze maybe only 5% or 10% of the data, available data. But nowadays, because of the cloud and also because of artificial intelligence, it makes us to able to analyze basically much more data than before, maybe more than 50%. That's why I think with this perspective, it is a kind of compliment. But at the same time, you say that whether the question is a kind of business and economic benefit. I think with data, we can do the predictive approach. We can predict our next trend and our next wave based on the data. And also in the past, we don't have social media. In the past, we don't have local the mobile phone data. Basically, when we combine your internal data together with the external market data like the social media and as well as the mobile data, it makes us to give us more a complete set of data analysis for business use.
Very good.
Okay, very detailed things about data. For my view, I think it is more on the business side because as like today we are talking about how to use big data, but actually about when we talk about the landscape on SME, basically they do not have the infrastructure and also they don't have enough investment to invest in this kind of infrastructure. But as Honor said, because of the rise of the cloud, and this is more affordable, and this is more powerful and more scalable, it becomes much better. So in the sense that when talking about big data, I think it is more like moving forward on a more cheaper way. It is not only affordable because of the cloud, it is more cheap to be affordable to the SME market. But at the same time, I think SMEs, they should have the mindset of using it rather than just let their son, let their daughter to help them to do these things. And adoption of many professional consulting from big data firm, in which I know a few that they really help some SMEs to uplift their efficiency a lot, likely over 50%. So in the sense that many of the people in the business world, especially in the SME market, I think they should be more confident on the result of big data usage, and also they should be more aggressive to adopt new technology, especially for those SaaS, SaaS platform, software as a service, that is become more cheap so that it could be more easy to use for the general public, small SME.
Now let's go back to class.
All right, thank you very much.
Okay.
So as a consultant, I have some more solid figures. In the past, when we create propensity model with traditional statistical model, is around 15 to 20% click-through rate is already quite successful. Now with big data streaming and all the machine learning stuff that I honestly mentioned, it can go up to 75%. So it's very accurate in terms of predictive power. And also when you use it for detecting fraud and also alerts, the false positive rate can reduce almost 80% over time. So after 60,000 training set of data, then you can reduce false positive a lot. So this is, to back to the question, it's a lot of economic value add.
Okay. Thank you.
So I see this question is talking about the business value and also technology. To be honest, I think all the new technology, not only the big data, but also, let's say, IoT or cloud computing, all those things is related to new technology, but most important is how to translate this kind of new technology to be the business value. So that's why I agree that this should be talking about the business value rather than talking about the technology. Otherwise, if I talk to you about using cloud computing because a lot of data easy to get, but I don't talk about the business value, then for the user it's meaningless.
Seems to be a consensus about that. Anyway, go back to the flow. Big data really took off at the beginning of this decade. Year 2012, 90% of the Fortune 500 companies have implemented major projects in big data. After so many years, the big data and big data analytics have really become part of the business fabric. It's inseparable from the business itself. Now that's mighty good for them. So maybe the same thing is happening in Europe, maybe in Hong Kong, maybe in China. China is actually catching up quite fast. So the next question is relevant. Going back to the SME, which Alvin has touched upon before. If you're an SME, can you really benefit from big data? Is big data becoming too big for SMEs? And because they don't have a big budget. So what unique challenges they face? This is an important question for Hong Kong. A lot of SMEs.
Yep.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I answer first. And actually, big data is not 3 years before as expensive as before, and it is more affordable, especially in the SME landscape. We saw that there are so many new things that which is more easy to use to analyze. I think when we talk about big data, that is two levels. The first one is the collection of data. The second one, because as a marketing agencies before, we have working with many clients for each marketing project. Actually, they store the data separately. So in this way, those data are further analyzed in future in each steps. So in the way that because at the old time, because they do not have the enough knowledge, and also they do not have the database to store these things. But nowadays, the development of these different kind of I can say big data related startups, different kind of software as a service platform. In this way, they could store the data more easily, and the correlation between these kind of campaign data, they could be analyzed together. Take an example. For example, in the first campaign, the users registers in a campaign like having a sort of discount. Basically, these kind of people will start to, they will register again and again. So in the data, it could help them to analyze this kind of behavior, and also they identify who is coming back again and again. So this is kind of loyalty to your brands like that. But nowadays, because this kind of software as service become more easily adoptable and more easy to use, in this sense, I think SME now can have more chance to use big data. However, because big data, when we talk about big data, it is about different kind of like a POS, like a backend ERP, there are many things, CRM, all together, analyzed together. I think SME may not be affordable to adopt all the things integrated together, but they could start it like CRM, POS, memberships, and also some scattered portion of them they could utilize it. I think it is more easy now than a few years ago.
From my perspective, I think SME has limited budget. And in a marketing perspective, I think it will, in the past, you don't want to try because you need to have a lot of research. You may need to use big marketing dollars in order to try a lot of things, like putting the banner ad the old traditional way, you don't know the result. But with the use of the big data, it will help you to more focus on your target audience. You can have a first try and see whether it's work or not, gain your confidence, and after that you can throw your money into marketing budget. I think in this perspective, with the small marketing budget of the SME, it will help, the first thing. Second thing is, first I think being an SME, you need to know what kind of data is useful to you. What kind of business objective that you would like to achieve. I mean, like us, we have two objectives. One is market share, one is increase the conversion rate. And you can't have both at the same time. That's why being a management, you need to strike the balance. What kind of business objective that you serve first before you come up with your use of the big data technology. The big data is talked about a long time ago. I mean, it's more than 10 years history already. But the thing is, not a lot of people know how to use the data and what kind of business objective they need to serve. This is very important for the SME because it's not like a big hawk. If you fail, you will fail all.
When we say big data is too big for SME, I guess as two speakers mentioned,
technical difficulty as well as budgetary consideration.
So we probably look at the cost first, and the cost in the past is mainly the infrastructure storage and also the application, the software. So nowadays when we do big data projects using machine learning and all that, we actually do not keep the data. The data stream through our engine, and then the machine pick up the pattern, and then the data flow away. So we don't keep the data. We don't actually need big data infrastructure for big data to become analytics. So this is, and also, so this solves the storage issue, the infrastructure issue. The second issue is software. A lot of software we use now are all open source. There's so many open source software, we actually don't spend a dime on those. So my observation is the big data is just not big enough for SME because they don't have the source of those data. So they can process the data, but they don't have the source. Even if they buy it from other data provider, it's very challenging.
So nothing I can talk more because they all talk about all the points. But instead of I share my view, actually I can share with you that we have done a research paper to big data on SME. Last year we did a research for about 400 SME in Hong Kong for the retail industry. To ask them the adoption of big data. They're interesting, only about less than 10%, just few percent of people, they try the big data in SME. But about 30 to 40% people, they heard about that. And then one question is, we asked them whether they believe in the future the big data can help the business. Then over 50% of people on SME, they believe that. And they're interested to do the big data project. The problem they just mentioned, the cost, the expertise, all those things. So I think the big data in Hong Kong still have a lot of potential. It depends on how to figure out this kind of challenge for SME.
It seems that even amongst the SMEs, they're gaining traction, right? So it's a matter of time.
But because at the end of the day, no matter SME or enterprise, they have to meet the budget. So they believe that
all businesses,
yeah, except the civil servant.
So we forget that.
So I think everybody wants to have a better way to predict the business, just like the fortune teller. But the problem is whether the SME have enough resources to get this kind of information. That is the challenge.
Well, it's good to hear that's happening in Hong Kong. Yeah.
So I can share the research data to you in our website.
By the way, it's a good point to ask. Any questions from the audience so far? If not, we'll move on. When I was preparing for this meeting, I just did an exercise. I went to Google and asked which segment of the economy are being impacted by big data. And this is a partial list I came up with. Manufacturing, leisure and travel, retail, healthcare, finance, education, media and entertainment, government operation, science research, sports, agriculture, national defense. So to borrow a much used cliche, this thing is changing our life. No escaping from it. Now we don't have enough time to go through all the different areas, so I'd much rather focus on one or two areas that is really of interest to Hong Kong. Hong Kong is a financial center. This is the lifeblood of Hong Kong. It's one of the leaders in the world. So my question to the panel members is, how is big data changing the financial landscape of Hong Kong, and what holds for the future? Anybody? Anybody can go first. I purposely did not call it fintech because I know one of you is going to bring it up.
Yeah, so I guess for sales and marketing, everyone is the same, using big data for propensity model, etc. In finance, it's more specifically used for risk management and also fraud detection. So, for example, in banks, we use it for predicting interest rate, FX rates, and all that to assess the market risk now. We also use that to, like in insurance, we detect fraudulent claims. Actually, there's one project going on already in Hong Kong using more for a federation of insurers that they are using AI to do this. So, this AI application or big data application has one limitation. Because when we use machine learning or neural network to analyze the big data, we cannot produce a model for regulator. When we use neural network, there's no model. And then when regulator need to validate the risk model, they have a hard time because they don't understand. So I presume there's no regulator here. So regulators are also concerned when people are using it, so it becomes a limitation.
I have the feeling the regulatory agencies and in fact the legal guys themselves are falling behind and trying to catch up with what's happening in big data.
That's a very good point too. When we apply in robo-advisors, we also encounter...
Who is liable?
Exactly, who is liable. Exactly.
Open?
Okay. Talking about the usage of big data on the fintech, basically we have a few examples. I think the most important one is to help the banks to wake up the sleeping clients. I think many of you may have a few banking accounts, but for some money you put in a certain account, you did not touch it for like 1 to 2 years or even 3 years. So basically that is a bank in the UK called Lloyd TBS now. They hire a team of consultants that they are free of charge. They're free of charge, but they go to the bank to analyze the data on those sleeping clients, and they use different kind of targeting method to subsell them, to make them wake up again. And after that, over 80% of the people, over 80% of these sleeping customers woke up and they buy those. They start using the financial products, package, insurance, these kind of things. Nowadays, banks, retail manager relationship manager can sell you everything. So in the sense that this is a very important usage of big data, like this is already a case like 2 to 3 years ago, and many banks are adopting that. And another point is about chatbots. Chatbots is very, very important, because there are so many customer inquiries, like what is your product about, how could I claim the insurance, should I buy this one, and I buy this like the travel insurance before I take off from Hong Kong airport. The point is that the adoption of chatbots, they analyze a lot of data when the users type in to talk with the chatbot. In this sense, they collect like billions of communications between that. By using of the analyzing software, maybe what we are talking about machine learning now, it could help them to enhance the service, subsell more, and also help them to be frank, cut many CS people to enhance the service level like that. So these two, I can tell you that by using big data, you could sell more and you can save much money in the perspective of marketing and also the operation. Thank you.
want to supplement one thing when we talk about speaking customer. Whenever we talk about financial inclusion, we have this big data in the concept because when, like in the rural areas, if the farmer need microfinancing, they actually don't have any credit records. So these data become very important. And all the Southeast Asia government and regulators are very serious about applying this in the inclusion campaigns.
Good point. Good point.
I also have some sharing, and I think you have a chance to watch the television. And recently, as you for Manulife, they will give you, if you subscribe their health plan, they will give you the wearable device, and like AIA as well. And this actually, they are collecting your health data in order to enhance their policy for later. And from their perspective, they will know that for that age range, their health situation should be like it. They can collect more data, and in order to build a better, margin for them. At the same time, you can tailor-make a better, insurance plan for us. This is the first thing in Hong Kong. But I would like to share, just like Paul discussed before, talking about microfinancing. This is a Hong Kong company, but I don't want to disclose the name. They are using the AI technology and as well as the big data technology, to assess whether we should, they should borrow the money.
It's not an SME, right?
Nowadays, it's not an SME. It's a kind of big company, but they also have the China business. And what they do is amazing. First, they will assess the gender. Usually, the default ratio for women will be low. Second, which province you are in. If you are in Fujian, okay, basically no, they don't borrow anyone, any applicants in Fujian. The third one, they also take your mobile data. The mobile data is the longer that you speak in each call, the default ratio will be high. Okay, fourth one, even in China, everyone would like to buy stuff in Taobao, and they will check the billing address whether it changed very frequently. If you change your billing address very frequently, they will also increase your reduce your credit score. When they combine this kind of social media element, combine the mobile data element as well as your application form that fill in, basically come up with the credit card score. And this is what they use the big data, artificial intelligence to make it more easy and almost more professional way to predict the default ratio for that applicants.
That's an excellent example. Thank you.
So, I want to sidetrack a little bit to just talk about the other information, such as the wearable device. I also encounter one of the insurance company. If they download their application on your mobile phone, they will keep track on your travel or driving behavior. Then after they check, then you will have some discount. If the driving behavior is good, discount. But however, just like the other people just mentioned, or this kind of wearable device, you will disclose a lot of personal data. That is the challenge. Whether you want to get the 5% discount, but you disclose all your travel information to other people, it is your call. So this is a big data challenge.
Yes. No regulation, free for all. But my understanding of fintech is basically making fundamental change in the way we make payment, we make loans, the regulation of insurance investments, and it's basically changing the banks, the way they do business in a very fundamental way, and also how the banks or the fund managers trade and do brokerage. So. Going forward, do you see more of it, and how is it going to change Hong Kong's position as a financial center? Any comment?
This is maybe a public sector.
Good question.
That's a quick question, and very political too. But then I think the first thing we will see